heaven, I thank you very much for your mercy towards us. Helping us, dear Father, to come together again by your grace on another Sabbath day to study your word. Please give us the spirit of truth. Help us, dear Father, to understand what we are going to see. And we thank you, Lord, for the revelation you have given us. These revelations was not given to us just like that, but it was given for us, dear Father, to see the urgency of time. We pray, dear Father, in the light of seeing this, that it will encourage us, dear Father, to prepare for your second coming, which is soon, even at the doors. So, dear Lord, please give us understanding in these things, dear Father, that we are going to study. These things, dear Lord, we ask in Jesus' holy and precious name we pray. Amen. Okay, we are in Daniel chapter 8. Right? We are in Daniel chapter 8. And the two texts that we are going to look at today is Daniel chapter 8, verse 8 and verse 9. Daniel chapter 8, verse 8 and verse 9. Daniel chapter 8, verse 8 and verse 9. It says this: Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and the great horn, and for it, came up four notable ones towards the four winds of heaven, and out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great, towards the south, and towards the east, and towards the pleasant land. Right? This is the text that we are going to look at. With all of these things in mind, this is the text that we are going to look at. Daniel chapter 8, verse 8 and verse 9. I'll read it again. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up four notable ones towards the four winds of heaven. And out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great, towards the south, and towards the east, and towards the pleasant land. This is the text that we are going to look at today. Right? Now, when we look at verse 8, right? When we look at verse 8, we saw that the he-goat, right? The he-goat was great. He was strong, right? He had a horn, right, between his eyes. And the Bible said that the horn between his eyes was broken. That horn between his eyes that was broken is the first king, which is Alexander the Great. So the he-goat is a symbol of the Grecian Empire, right? So when the horn that is between his eyes, which is Alexander the Great, when Alexander the Great died, there was a lot of fighting within the Grecian Empire for the position that Alexander the Great held. Right? There was a lot of infighting for the position that Alexander the Great held. So, Alexander the Great. And the Bible is saying that the horn was broken. Right? The horn was broken. Let me just read for you. Let me just read here for you from Uriah Smith, Daniel and the Revelation by Uriah Smith, page 155. Daniel and the Revelation, Uriah Smith, page 155. It says this: after Alexander's death, there arose much contention among his followers respecting the succession. After a 7 days contest, it was agreed that his natural brother, which is Philip Ariaedas, should be declared king by him, and by Alexander's infant son, Alexander Eugus. That word Eugus here means son of the goat. Right? Now, when Alexander died, what he's telling us, Uriah Smith, what Uriah Smith is telling us is that his brother was supposed to take over the position after after Alexander died. And also, next in line was also his son. Now, both of these men were still young, right? So when Alexander died, his brother Philip was to take over, and his little son was also supposed to take over, right? Eugus and Philip. But after Alexander died, there was so much infighting for the position that Alexander had that Alexander's kingdom, which is the Grecian Empire, right? That is the fourth kingdom. We have Babylon, we have the Medes and the Persians, we have Greece, the third kingdom, we have Greece, and then we have Rome, right? So, in this Grecian Empire, a lot of things happened when Alexander the Great died, right? Let me just read on. Right. By him and by Alexander's infant son, Alexander Eugus, son of the goat, the name and show of the Macedonian Empire were for a time sustained, but the boys were soon murdered, and the family of Alexander became extinct. So what happened is that they murdered Alexander's brother, and they murdered Alexander's son. So there was no one to take over from Alexander, right? It says this: then the chief commanders of the army, who had gone into different parts of the empires as governors of the provinces, assumed the title of king. They at once began warring against one another to such a degree that within a few years after Alexander's death, the number was reduced to 4. So there was so much fighting in Alexander's kingdom that everybody wanted power, everybody wanted to be king. So the kingdom of the Grecian Empire, which is the he-goat there in Daniel chapter 8, verse 8, right? Which symbolizing he-goat. Let me just make a let me just specify this, that horn there, that he-goat horn there, is Alexander the Great. So the horn that the he-goat had in Daniel chapter 8 verse 8 is Alexander the Great. When Alexander the Great died, there was 2 persons to take over from Alexander, Philip and Eugus. They murdered Philip, they murdered Eugas, right? Philip was his brother, Eugas was his son. And after they murdered those two, there was nothing after Alexander, or no one from Alexander to take over. So within the kingdom of the Grecian Empire now, it was divided up into 4 major parts, right? It was divided up into 4 major parts. Let me continue reading. They at once began warring against one another to such a degree that within a few years after Alexander's death, the number was reduced to 4. The exact number specified in prophecy. So prophecy did tell you and I that after Alexander the Great died, his kingdom would be separated into 4. And so much so that you get it in history, who was the 4 that the Grecian Empire came down to? Who was the 4, right? 4 notable horns were to come up towards the 4 winds of the heaven in place of the great horn that was broken. Who was the horn again? Who was the horn again? Who was the horn? Alexander the Great. Right, good. So 4 notable horns were to come up towards the 4 winds of heaven in place of the great horn that was broken. These were Cassander, who had Greece and the neighboring countries, Lysimachus, who had Asia Minor. Right? Cassander, who had Greece and the neighboring countries, Lysimachus, who had Asia Minor, Seleucus, who had Syria and Babylon, and from whom came the line of the kings known as the Seleucids, so famous in history, and Ptolemy, son of Logus, who had Egypt, and from whom sprang Lagidia, right? So let me just make a long story just short for you. Right. So we have within the infighting in the Grecian Empire, we end up with 4, right? 4 generals, whatever you want to call them, right? Ruling in 4 different parts. Remember, when you're talking about Babylon, you're talking about Babylon as a world empire. When you're talking about the Medes and the Persian was a world empire. So you're not talking about just Persia alone. You're talking about all kind of different areas all over, right? So when Alexander the Great died, the kingdom divided and it came down to these 4 generals. Cassander, he was in the western part, because Greece is in the west, right? He controlled Greece, Macedonia, on this side, right? Lysimachus, Asia Minor, right? This was the northern part, right? Seleucus, which was Syria and Babylon, this was the eastern part, around here, right? And Ptolemy, which was Egypt. Right? Remember, the children of Israel came from Egypt, went up to Israel. Right? So Ptolemy had controlled Egypt, which was the southern part. So they each had a different part for themselves. Seleucus and Ptolemy, right? But with those four, right? With those four, it still came down to 2, right? It still came down to 2. So the 2 would be the Seleucus and the Ptolemy, right? So if you took away this and you took away this, right? You would be left with the Seleucus and the Ptolemy, right? Huh? I was thinking those parts, right? Okay. Right. So we have after these four, we still had 2 still remaining, right? Now, what I wrote on this side here, you can see it's from the Seleucus, right? So there was a lot of kings, right? 26 of them, right? 26 of them. And there was a lot of Ptolemaic, right? How much Ptolemaic? 19 of them, right? 19, right? Cleopatra the third, and Ptolemy, you know, right? Cleopatra the seventh, right? So it's the Seleucus and the Ptolemy, a lot of kings, right? 26 of them. Yes. Right, and the time goes down, right down until we reach the last one, right? Until we reach the last one. The last one is Philip, right? Philip the second, right? So imagine this Seleucus here, right? It starts from 305 to 281. It went down so far, right? To Philip II. That's it, right? Right? And he is 84. Right? So even when you see it, all of these, it took a very long time from 503 to 281 until we reach 84. Right? And that's a long time. Huh? Yeah. Huh? Right, so remember 8, and let us read verse 8 again. Daniel chapter 8, verse 8. Daniel chapter 8, verse 8. It says this: Therefore, the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up 4 notable ones towards the 4 winds of heaven. Could you all interpret the text in the light of what we were talking about? Let's read it again. The he-goat, Alexander the Great, right, waxed very great in his 30-something years, and when he was strong, the great horn, which symbolized Alexander the Great, was broken, and for it came up 4 notable ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 notable ones. Do you see how Bible prophecy is accurate? Do you see how Bible prophecy is accurate? Right, okay. So, let's just read it again, because we want to see something here again in Daniel chapter 8. It says, Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up 4 notable ones. So out of the horn, which is the Grecian Empire, 4 came up out of that horn. Right? So 4 came up out of the horns. Right? But in the text itself, the text is talking about 4 winds. Right? The text is also speaking about 4 winds. Let's read it again. Alright? Right? Verse 8. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up 4 notable ones towards the 4 winds of heaven. So they each got the west, the north, the east, and the south. Right? Let's read verse 9 now. Right? And out of one of them, now out of that one of them is not out of the horn, which is Alexander the Great Kingdom. It's not out of the horn.
It's out of one of the 4.
It is out of the winds,
right.
the 4 winds,
4 winds, right.
But not the 4 empires itself.
Right.
Right? Not the 4 empires. It is out of the 4 winds. So out of the 4 winds came up a little horn. Out of one of the 4 winds, not the 4 horns. Right?
Not the 4 empires.
Not the 4 empires.
What is the difference between the winds and the empires?
Because it is just talking about a location. Somewhere it came up.
Which is the empire?
Not
Wind or the wind?
yeah, just the some part of the earth it came up. Right? But when we are talking about what happened after Alexander the Great, we are talking about the kingdom that these people, it is specified, they divide up the kingdom, north, south, east, and west. Right. So when this little horn is coming up, and it is said out of one of them, which is the winds, it doesn't mean it is out of the Grecian Empire itself. Right? Not out of the Grecian Empire. Yes, somewhere in the north, south, east, and west.
Okay.
We are seeing the little horn come up.
Okay.
Right? So the little horn is not coming out of the Grecian Empire. Right? The little horn is not coming out of the Grecian Empire. Right? It says this. So the horns and the ones identified together. They are identified together, right? They are feminine gender. But when you look at the winds is identified with them, which is masculine gender. So the winds is identified with them, and the horns is identified with the ones. The horns and the ones is the Grecians. But we are seeing, taking aside the Grecian, not taking into consideration the Grecian fire, we are seeing a horn coming up out of the earth, somewhere on the earth. Right? Somewhere on the earth, the little horn is coming up. Right? No. It says this, verse 9. Daniel chapter 8, verse 9. It says, and out of one of them, which is the four winds, so you could take an arrow, take a pen, circle around them, and put an arrow pointing from them to the winds to identify that the them, which is the little horn, is coming out of the winds. And you can take an arrow from the ones, from the horns, and you can point it to the ones. So the horns identified with the ones, the winds identified with them. Right? It says this. It says this, verse 9. And out of one of them came forth a little horn out of the four winds, which waxed exceeding great, towards the south, and towards the east, and towards the pleasant land. Right? Now, the little horn that is there is identified as the pagan Roman Empire. Right? And there is also a religious part of that, which we call the papal Roman Empire. Right? This part of the Roman Empire is the political part. That is the part that killed Christ and don't have no God and you know those kind of lawless ones, but they still used to kill Christians anyway, right? So this is the political part. But there is also a religious part of the Roman Empire. So you have to take into consideration that the little horn, right, have two phases, the political and the religious, right? Obviously, when the little horn came out of the four winds, right, it would be the pagan part, seeing that the pagan part ruled before. And then now we have the papal, which we are now facing with even until our day. So the papal part lasted right down, and it will last right down until the coming of Christ. The Bible says it will be destroyed. Right? So the pagan, after it came out of the four winds, the little horn, right, which is the pagan part, ruled after the Grecian Empire, right? Not out of the Grecian Empire, right? Now, before we reach there, these are some of the kings, right? These are some of the kings of the Seleucid Empire, right? Right? Some of them, if I want to pronounce them, I might tongue or something. Sister Nicole, you might be able to pronounce them, but to consider them.
Number 5, Seleucus, right? He's supposed to be Seleucus, he's not the second. Did you see it? Because right above it was he's supposed to be the second.
Hold on. The fifth one?
Yeah.
Brother Benita. This sota here. Is it the third or the second?
Lucas 4 and 5.
But Kelly is saying it's supposed to be the third.
I don't know. I just follow it. No, look right above it. Look. Right above it, you have the second one. Oh, sota. I was looking at the first one. I was looking at Lucas, the second. Okay. I know see it. Okay.
Alright. Okay, so as Brother Medina is here, one time, let us knock him down. So we were going to look at Antiochus Epiphanes, right? And there's a talk, and there's a belief that Antiochus Epiphanes, the fourth, is the little horn, and not the pagan Roman Empire. Why do they say Antiochus Epiphanes and not the pagan Roman Empire? Why do they say that?
Because the interpretation of Antiochus Epiphanes was created by the Roman Catholic Church. In their prophecies, they said it was Antiochus Epiphanes because they didn't want people to show that it was pagan. Hence, afterwards, they were pagan Roman Empire. They tried to divert people's attention away from them. But let me just illustrate something to show you here. Good. East, west, north, south. Okay? There are 4 horns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So you have 4 horns towards the 4 winds of the east, west, north, and south. The east wind, the west wind, the south wind, the north wind. Right? Right? He's right. Alright? So you have 4 horns towards the 4 winds of the earth. East, west, north, and south. Those 4 horns. That's the 4 portions that Alexander's empire broke up into. Okay? Then the Bible says out of one of them came forth a little horn, which was exceeding great. The them is not the horns, it's the winds, not the horns. So this one horn didn't come out of one of the 4 horns. In other words, this is not how it is. Watch. That is not how it is. It's not a little horn out of one of the 4 horns. Out of one of them, that is the 4 winds, where the 4 horns went towards. Out of one of them, that is one of the 4 what? Winds came forth what? A little horn, not out of one of the horns. Watch me. But let us assume this was so, according to what the Catholic Church says. Remember, these 4 horns are already accounted for. 4 portions of what? Alexander the Great what? Empire. Antiochus was just one of the horns. So how you can have Antiochus coming out from one of the very horns, when the 4 horns is already accounted for? Antiochus Empire is one. So that just shows you how they lie. So in truth and in fact, it was not a little horn from one of the horns, but one of the what? 4 winds. The east wind, the west wind, the north wind, and the what? South wind. But you must also remember your Bible carry it further. These 4 will break down to how much horns? 2. And that must be before Rome comes. The Bible shows you that. So by the time Rome comes, this is extremely rude. By the time Rome comes, it's no longer 4, but they still have the 4 wings.
Amen.
So it's not out of one of the 4 horns, but out of the 4 wings. And Rome came from what side of the earth? West. So from the west wind came Rome. By the time you only had how much? 2. King of the North. The king of the South. Is that understood, right?
Yes.
Okay? So these things are in the Bible. It is written so for you and I to be scholars of history, but history that matters.
That's right. Oh, yes.
But history that matters. Not useless history like those African history and Chinese history, but history that matters. History where God's people are attacked and defended by God. Okay, brethren? So, when Rome comes, Rome attacks, but the king of the south becomes what you call like a kind of a servant to Rome. But by 65 BCB, Rome attacks the king of the north and wipes it out. So only the king of the south remains. And by 63 BCB, wipe out the king of the south. Hence that's the time pagan Roman Empire begins to rule. So when Adventist books tell you 161, how did it say, how do you say? Bourgeois.
Nonsense.
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 Okay, my dear brother.
Money there, making sense.
And this is why I always say this. This is why I always say this. We cannot appreciate. We cannot appreciate the security that God has given to us in the faith of Jesus Christ. We have been saved from deception. We have been saved from errors. And even down to the dates we have gotten correct. Look, we don't even say BC and AD. BC before Christ means Christ was existing before Christ. Then who was the word that spoke to all of us? AD, Anno Domini, in the year of our Lord. We have been in the year of our Lord from the day of creation.
Amen.
And if you want to put it in a size, there's a day from the day Adam sinned. So we are not even using those things. We put it there. BCB, before Christ's birth. ACB, what? After Christ's birth.
Yes, sir.
So we have to put that all right. And that is why we should appreciate what God has given to us and cherish it right to the core with all your heart. Good. Okay?
So we see that out of the winds, you all understand the winds now, right? That pagan Roman Empire came out, and then the papal Roman Empire came out after that, right? So let us see something here, right? The little horn, right? The little horn. The little horn. identified as something to us. It is identified. All right, let's go back to the pagan and the papal. Before we see that, let's go back to the pagan and the papal. Let's look at Daniel chapter 8 again. Verse 9 and verse 10. And out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great towards the south, and towards the east, and towards the pleasant land. And it waxed great even to the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the host of the stars to the ground, and it practiced, and it prospered. Right? No. When you're coming to the papal Roman Empire, so with the religious parts of the papal Roman Empire, from the time that empire starts the war against Christ and against Christians, it becomes religious. The battle is a religious battle. Right? The battle becomes religious. Let us look back at Daniel chapter 7. Let's look back at Daniel chapter 7. Right? And we will read verse 7. Then we will read verse 22. And then we will read verse 25. Right? Daniel chapter 7. Let's read we will read verse 8, verse 21, and verse 25. Let's read verse 8. Daniel chapter 7, verse 8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horn plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. Now this horn that had the eyes like the eyes of a man, and had the mouth as the mouth of a man, it means to say that with the eyes and with the mouth, he was blaspheming against God. He was saying a lot of evil against the Most High. One of the things that he said is that he was God on earth. We saw what Sister Ashley taught us this morning in regards to the different popes that rule. They actually blasphemed God. They said they were God on earth. They said they could have forgiven sins, and all kind of other different things that they did. Right? So the Bible is saying that this little horn blasphemed, and we will see later on that it blasphemed not against just the saints, but against the Most High. Because when they do it to one of these least of my brethren, they do it unto Christ. Right? Let's look at verse 21 to see that the war was religious. Verse 22, Daniel chapter 7, verse 22. It says this. 21, sorry. Right. It says this. I beheld, and the same horn, that same little horn, in verse 8, that same little horn made war with the saints of the Most High. So that means that empire, from the pagan part, it became religious, and it started to act religious by persecuting the saints of the Most High. So that means it got involved in the Most High is by 1, persecution, and by 2, legislation. Right? So, this morning you heard what Sister Ashley said in regards to the outrageous demands of these folks. By their legislation, they made it the traditions of men, and you had to follow those traditions. And if you did not follow those traditions, you got persecution. In fact, there were kings that were outside waiting for pardon from the Pope barefoot. We are talking about kings that rule the earth. We are talking about kings that could command anything. Right? So these popes became very powerful. Remember, it is the dragon that gave them their seats, their power and great authority. Right? How can one pastor of a church get so powerful? It has to be evil angel, aided by evil angels, aided by Satan. So the Bible says that his seat was given, and power and great authority was given by Satan himself. Right? So the war against the saints, the whole war against the saints, and the Bible says it prevailed against them. So when it made all the outrageous demands, and as the saints didn't want to follow them by following their own conscience and following God, because they cannot follow a man that says that the Sabbath is done away with. You have to keep the Sabbath holy, that's what the Bible says. So the Bible says it is better to follow man, God rather than man. And you have to follow the dictates of your conscience. And because the saints didn't do that, they got persecution. And they got persecution for quite a long time. The time, 1,260 years. Right? Let's look at verse 25. Daniel chapter 7, verse 25. The religious phase, the religious horn. And he shall speak great words against the Most High. So when he's persecuting the saints, he's actually doing it against the Most High, against God. He's warring against God. He's making it a religious matter. When you're doing it against God, you're doing it religious against the Most High, right? It says, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times, holy times, the Sabbath, and laws, the 10 Commandments, and they shall be given into his hand until the times, and the binding of time. So the period, right, that the papacy, the papal Roman Empire, the length of time it was given to war against the saints and persecute the saints for 1,260 years. The time is given from 538 with a decree that Justinian made to 1798 when the Pope was taken captive in France by General Berthier. Right? So that period of time was given for him to war against the saints. Change times, change laws, take out the 10 Commandments. Remember Brother Medina talked about the 2nd commandment? Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images, because God is what? Glory. Right? So he changed the commandments, and he changed the Sabbath, and he said this is not the 7th day anymore, it is the Sunday, which is the first day of the week. So he did change times, and he did change laws, and he put those legislations there, he put those commands there, which is not according to Bible truth, but the traditions of man, right? And when the saints did not follow, the saints got persecution. They got persecuted. It happened for 1,260 years. Right? So, let's turn back to Daniel chapter 8.
What the evangelicals have to say about that text?
What do you?
What the evangelicals have to say about Daniel 7:25.
Daniel 7:25.
The text that you quote just now. What the evangelicals have to say about that text? You try to claim that now in the Old Testament, when we say they read this text in the scripture, what they have to say about this text, since it's so clear.
What does the evangelicals have to say about Daniel chapter 7, verse 25? Right? And you shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and kill the High.
If it is the evangelicals, and they're talking about thinking to change times and laws, they still say it is Antiochus Epiphanes. And when it comes to changing times and laws, they will point to things that he did to the ancient Jews. He take pig and he smear it on the temple. He abolished the Jewish system. So they say, well, look, he abolished the Jewish system, so he changed times and laws. Right? Look, he attacked the Jews, he wear out the saints of the Most High. That's what they say about him. Okay? But they cannot point times and dividing of times. Because he didn't do what he did for 3.5 years. Literally. Worse yet for 1,260 years. So again, as I said before, it's just lies and misrepresentation. Okay?
Right? So next week, please God, we will continue this, right? Right. So you all understand, right? You all understand, right? You all understand where Antiochus Epiphanes is fitting in it, right? Amen. Right. So we will close off and continue next week. Let's go. Most kind and eternal Father in heaven, as we come before thee this afternoon, thank you, dear Father, for the prophetic, progressive, physical history that we have seen in Daniel in regards to the little horn papacy. We know, dear Father, that this phase of the Roman Empire will last even down to the end of your soon coming. And like Christians in history that have to deal with this little horn and their persecutions, we as Christians living in the last days, in the last time, in the latter days, will also have to deal with this papacy. We pray, dear Father, for strength. We pray, dear Father, for development of character. We pray, dear Father, for resolve in the truth, that we will stand like our fellow brethren for conscience sake and for your name's sake, glorifying you as God alone. For you are all that matters to us if you are God alone in our lives. Please have mercy upon us in our endeavors. Help us, dear Father, to perseveringly deal with our personality traits. Because those that will be shaken if their foundation is not solid. So please give us a serious and solemn experience as we are living in the last days of your second coming. And help us to prepare with sobriety, dear Father, and meditativeness upon your word, and looking, dear Father, with eagerness to see you in power and great glory. Bless us, dear Father. Have mercy upon us and continue to save us away from our sins. It's these things we ask in Jesus' holy name we pray. Amen. Amen.